Thank you, Candy, so much. Yeah, we want what we want on our schedule, don't we? In many households, moms are the keeper of the schedules. Feeding, and cleaning, activities, whining. If you have a boss, and you have a boss that you need to keep happy, excuses don't matter, right? Positive results are the only thing that matter. Somebody's got to be the boss. And if it's the child, we've got parents not doing their job. I readily admit that this passage of John has too much packed into it. The first half dozen verses or so are words of comfort, commonly expressed during funerals. The next section expresses a Christian-centric view that is often misused. Both well-meaning and mean-spirited persons point to it as proof that somehow God's love is exclusively Christian. We're skipping to the end. In verse 12, and now I tell you we're skipping to the end, Candy, right? Sorry. Verse 12 says, I tell you, the one who believes in me will also do the works that I do, and in fact, will do greater works than these. How can anyone do anything greater than Jesus? This is the person who healed the sick of mind, spirit, and body. This is the person who stood up to the religious authorities by uplifting those on the lowest rung of the socioeconomic ladder. This is the person who raised people from the dead, himself resurrected. How can anyone do anything greater than Jesus? It is my favorite confirmation class question. In his book, The Way of Jesus, Eugene Peterson, who compiled the Message interpretation of the Bible that we heard from this morning, he says to follow Jesus means that we can't separate what Jesus is saying from what Jesus is doing and the way that he is doing it. To follow Jesus is as much or maybe even more about feet as it is about ears and eyes. It's more than just cleaning your room and picking up your toys. To experience Jesus is not just to sit back and watch or passively listen. It's about being on that same path with Jesus. To be able to do anything greater than the Master, we must first love unconditionally like Jesus. And that is our first impediment to doing anything greater than Jesus, isn't it? Boggles my mind. Let the moms do it. They can do anything, right? Everything that needs immediate attention is right there in your Swiss Army knife of a purse. You just reach in there and pull out whatever you need to avert the crisis at hand. I've seen it done. Okay, maybe not the anything greater than Jesus thing. So what can we do that is greater than what Jesus did? How about world peace? And women, especially mothers, are the key. We need mothers to tell men to stop being so stupid. We need men to stand up to other men who only subjugate women. We need mothers to quit allowing their sons to be martyrs. We need elected officials that are more representative of the populace. Men should not be making healthcare decisions for women. We need parents and grandparents, entire communities, to quit worshiping children. We need to put the appreciation of how far a kid can throw, hit, or kick a ball in its proper place behind how well a child cares for others in this planet that we share. And these are lessons a child can only learn, or learn best, from a faith community committed to teaching them. Now, how do we do all that? By all of you, and you watching online, getting into recruiting. By inviting others to do more than just keep score or count down the days left in a season or the school year. By sharing the truly good things that we are trying to do here. The summer is an opportunity for some of you to take one Sunday a month and be a kids' church leader. Give Tracy and Debbie and Tim a break. To maybe take one morning a week, in 1 week, helping with Vacation Bible School. It's a great opportunity to see young minds at work. Donating supplies for the Us Together cultural exchange mission trip is definitely a way to do something greater than Jesus. Sound sacrilegious? What's the purpose of the trip? To bring two cultures together and experience mutual love and respect. Jesus died trying to make that happen. So you don't think Jesus is thrilled to know that there are people that are still trying to make that happen? Trying to overcome the haters with love. And what about the car show? Now, how can we do anything that's, well, at least as great as Jesus by having a car show? Let's think about what our focus is. It's to benefit Mother Hubbard's Cupboard. It is to support a vital mission of our church in service to our community, feeding the hungry. What a great conversation starter that is. You could begin a conversation with one of the car owners or maybe a spectator, and you just say, thank you. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate you helping out Mother Hubbard's Cupboard. And they might ask, well, what is Mother Hubbard's Cupboard anyway? Well, that's our food pantry. And we help provide food to over 2,000 people every year. How often do you do that? The second and fourth Saturdays, every month. And we do other missions too. Well, like what? We provide school supplies and help with school fees through our Kids Cupboard program. We sponsor scout groups that meet here, and Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous also meet here. We help refugees get a new start in America. We have a preschool and a daycare. It sounds like your church really does a lot. Yes, we do. You should come check us out and see how you might be able to help. One person might take you up on your invitation. And imagine if all of us had one person. And if that one person had one person. Jesus says we can do greater things than we can imagine. And we're still sitting here wondering, how? The answer is in verse 14. If in my name you ask me for anything, I will do it. The answer is prayer. Not the, please, Jesus, let me hit the lottery prayer. Real prayer. Honest, soul-bearing prayer. Jesus, help me to be more welcoming to people that are different from me. Give me the strength to quit discriminating against everyone that I think shouldn't have the same rights as me. Help me swallow my pride and heal the hurt between me and anyone I've wronged. When we choose to take that path with Jesus, we find that we are always on holy ground. This church is no holier ground than any other place. Our workplace and our children's playing fields, the school parking lot, the grocery store, all of it is holy ground. No more holy than this. This is just a building that sits on holy ground. Because the entire earth is God's holy ground. And it's part of that path that Jesus wants us on. So I'm giving moms permission to free up their schedules. Quit trying to make your children happy. Teach them how to serve others, to put the needs of those less fortunate before themselves, and your children will grow into happy, contented adults who will do the same because they'll realize they're not the center of the universe. And that kid might just be the one to do something greater than Jesus. Amen.